Yeah, you know, I made the videos yesterday of the of these projections, astral projections, and psychic attacks, and what else? Possessions. And we was talking about all these things, you know, about different worlds, different beings, dimensions. So I just want to tell you that it's not that fancy, you know what I mean? It's just not that fancy. If you have it, if you have these gates open, so what's actually wrong, you know what I mean? God's gift. Oh, God's gift, and I give it back. Sometimes things are like, you know, really just tough, you know, really tough. You know, if you can imagine that they influence and affect your energy being, and sometimes you really struggle even to get back from certain worlds, because sometimes you don't even know how it happens. It just happens, you know. You just land somewhere and you have no clue how you got there, you know what I mean? But that's why it's so important to have this respect and this highest regard for different energy fields and different beings, because even though you might not be aware of how you landed in some other dimension, some other world, you know, as long as you become aware of it in that moment, at least you know, mostly you know what to do and what is actually taking place. But if you don't have that, then you have no clue what's going on and where you at, nothing. And then you have trouble, you know. So it's nice, even if you don't know how you got there, at least to know what to do when you're in there already. Okay. Hi. I made this video today. It's kind of like I was playing around with the technicality of that idea, you know, God's gift and can I give it back, and you know, just I just tried something different. I didn't know how it's gonna come out, but it was an idea, and I said, okay, maybe it's okay, but it, you know, it's something different for once, you know. And as you can see, I also cut the clips, you know, the videos in certain sequences, because I don't want to waste your time, because sometimes I get out of the way, you know, out of the point, and come back, and I don't want you to go, you know, be all confused. So I just choose the parts that I say, okay, this is pretty clear, you know. And plus, to give you a break for your brain and for your being, you know, not to be too saturated and to be lost somewhere in between that information. And I do some flashes, so that in that you wouldn't believe, you know, but in that millisecond, you know, you refresh your memory, you know that. It's amazing, the brain is amazing. And then you can follow up to what I'm saying way better, way more focused. Now, on the other hand, we have this trend now of these light workers, okay? Everyone wants to be a light worker. Everyone has videos and everyone belongs to this light worker society nowadays. Yes, wow, I'm positive, I'm light, and everyone is so much into light that as I explained this so many times already, but I always say it in a little bit of different way. But now I'll tell you like this: if you consider yourself a light worker, and anytime someone writes to you something critical, you get all offended, you might even block them, you might even unsubscribe and stuff, then you're not a light worker. And yes, you can unsubscribe immediately if this offends you, but maybe you should continue listening to what I'm actually saying and why I was saying that. Because, you know, we have two poles of the creation, and if you ignore one, then you cannot know the one you claim you belong to. Because it's like this: if you want to be a light worker, you need to also understand the work and the role and the purpose of dark forces. But yes, in your opinion, probably they don't exist, right? Well, you see, that's a problem, because I don't know how you're gonna be a light worker if you have no clue that there is a destructive force, and that destructive force has so many forces within itself, and that there is a constructive or building force. So because there's the harmony of life, as I said it before. So those people who were saints or perceived as saints, which I don't even what that really means, you know what I mean? I mean, there's so many theories and so many terms, and you know, but sometimes we don't really think what a saint is. We just say, oh, there was a saint. So they had more attacks, they had more possessions, because they represented a bigger interest and a bigger threat to the opposing side if they put themselves onto one side and stood for it so persistently, you know what I mean? So they really became a threat. So if you don't know them and you're playing around with this positivity, they just might as well grip you really hard. And since you ignore them, and since you don't want to listen to critical people, you won't know who is gripping you, right? So how would you get yourself out of that? But yes, of course, you think you're positive, right? So nothing can happen to you. Well, you know, I watch channels of a lot of you, and a lot of you seem very, very positive, but like somewhere deep down within you, the darkness is boiling, and it's very clear for me to see it. And you can pretend, and a lot of you try to mask it into something beautiful, but you know, it's kind of like trying to get out very, very persistently, and more you're trying to mask it, and more you're trying to ignore it, and more you try to say, oh, he's just trouble, you know, it's okay, you know, it's not a big deal. It's actually becoming a bigger and a bigger deal. You know, so that's why it's kind of like, okay, I mean, when will this stop? When will you actually accept that there is the opposing force, and you will have an interest in it, so that actually you understand who you're actually dealing with and what you're dealing with, because these forces are within you. So you cannot distance yourself from them in no way, but you can only actually choose which ones you're gonna use to the advantage of the interest that you represent or that you claim you belong to. Now I play around sometimes in the videos, just, you know, sometimes maybe people think, this guy's not serious enough, you know. But then one time I get really, really serious, and then people say this guy's too serious. So they get kind of confused. But, you know, I play around, you know why? Because I'm tired of these images, you know, because everything is an image. If I'd be some Tibetan monk, you know, sitting right in front of the camera, everyone would be thinking, oh, this is very serious, we need to listen. You know, but maybe when I play around, people think like, who's this guy? This guy is a joke. You know, but no matter the image, I can still know these things, I can still understand, I can still possess this knowledge, I can be a completely normal human being by the looks, you know what I mean? And I can be very deep and very knowledgeable in these things, and very experienced. So it is my intent actually to confuse these things and turn them upside down, so that we can stop with these images, because images are just drugs, you know what I mean? Drugs of the society, because there's so much abuse of image. So just be who you are. Don't try to represent any association, organization, religion. Just be you, man. Be you, you know what I mean? Because all these forces, they're not part of religions, they're not part of associations, organizations, they're part of life. And you are part of life. And you are life. Thank you. Oh, there's one thing I forgot to tell you, you know. I noticed that if I'm critical, right, and I post some critical comments onto your videos, you get all like touchy and sensitive, and you think like, oh no, you know, like you get it's uncomfortable. I don't know what to do with this guy. I don't think I really like this guy anymore, and you know, he's too much. You know, he's kind of negative. You know, but I go and check the videos that you make afterwards. And man, those videos are way better than what you used to do. So, you see, being critical is not really bad, because it influences you to strengthen yourself and to find even deeper essence of yourself than you ever thought that you even possessed. So, don't be so much against critical people, because they're helping you.